So the thing that I used to say on the Craniac Sports and Entertainment channel back when I used to do like Titans game previews and reviews on that channel was a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you get it. You get 16 chances a season to do it, and the Titans have secured win number 9 of the season, taking care of the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-10 in pretty convincing fashion actually. Now, at the same time, it was not the prettiest of efforts, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Tennessee came in, took care of business after an abysmal loss last week against the Browns. And there was never really a point in the game where I felt like the Jaguars really had an opportunity to come back. Now, obviously, when Gardner Minshew came in, they started moving the football a little bit, and I think I attribute that more to Tennessee preparing for Mike Glennon and not really preparing for Minshew's athleticism. But still, the Titans defense held Minshew to 2 turnovers on downs, and he did throw a touchdown pass, but I mean, it was all in garbage time pretty much for the most part, and it's a hell of a victory for the Titans to really bounce back, and now they take on the Lions next week. But first thing we got to talk about is, dear Khan family, fix your damn football field. I mean, just the entire game on both sides was people just tripping all over the place, and you had Aldrick Rose's trip on a field goal that ended up getting blocked. I don't know if it would have got blocked if he didn't trip, but still, I'm sure it definitely affected that somehow. Derrick Henry tripped a few times. Jeremy Mcnichols tripped a few times as well. And Roger Saffold hurt his ankle, as a matter of fact. I mean, it felt like an entire slip and slide out there, and it's just a very dangerous situation for any football player to have to deal with. So, the Khan family, y'all got all this money. It's like, you know, they own a Premier League team, and they own AEW. You know, use some of that money to fix your damn football field. Like, I'm surprised none of the wrestlers got hurt when they did the whole thing between the Inner Circle versus the Elite out on the football field. I'm surprised nobody got injured there. Fix your football field and fix your football team. Or just let the football team be bad. That's fine with me, honestly. So let's talk about the Titans offense. Ryan Tannehill had a solid game today. 19-24, 212 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Honestly, he didn't play too poorly at all. Not a lot of bad throws from him. And he took care of the football. Derrick Henry, though, absolutely owns the Jacksonville Jaguars at this point. 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and this is actually his first 100-yard game in Jacksonville. He got the closest in 2017 when he rushed for 92 in a victory, but overall, like, in the past, most of his big games came at home in Tennessee. But today it was different. He went to Jacksonville and just built his own house down in Jacksonville. Hell of a game for Henry in this one. He now has 4 200-yard games, and the rest of the league only has 4 in general, so hell of a performance by Henry. He's been great this year, and it's looking like he's going to get another rushing title. I don't really know how Dalvin Cook did, because I didn't pay attention to any other game outside of Miami versus Kansas City a little bit, but hell of a game for Henry in this one. Now, Jeremy Mcnichols. I mean, this man was bad today. 11 carries for 9 yards, and on a 4th and 2, Tennessee was just kind of like trying to catch Jacksonville off guard, but he gets blown back on a 4th and 2, and the Titans turn the ball over on downs. Now, I don't mind them going for it in that situation. I thought it was completely fine. You know, they're trying to catch him off guard. And if you can't get Derrick Henry back into the game because you're trying to rush to the field, I can understand that. But why would you run with Jeremy Mcnichols on a 4th and 2? He's not Derrick Henry. And there are so many different things you could have done in that situation. You could have run a PA. You could have had Tannehill run a read option or something like that. There could have been a better play call. I love the decision to go for it. I just hated the play call there. A.J. Brown had a bounce back game in this one. He had 112 yards and a beautiful one-handed catch. Now, he did have a critical drop on a 3rd and 2 that ended up not really mattering because Tennessee ended up going for it on a fake. But is he elite? I'm not going to say A.J. Brown's elite quite yet. He is still knocking on the door, but when you have the drops that he's had over the past few weeks, I mean, it's just unacceptable. Now, I will say the catch was beautiful, and I didn't give Tannehill credit for this, but that flea flicker was perfectly run. Henry sold it well. The offensive line sold it well. And Tannehill threw a marvel of a pass there, so big ups to Tannehill for that. Otherwise, like, he had a pretty damn good game. And A.J. Brown just needs to catch the ball consistently, and I don't think anybody will really have many complaints about him, but it's just like, It's just hard to get over the two drops, the one he had against Indy on Thursday Night Football, and then the one last week against Cleveland when we were trying to come back. But overall, I think he's a very solid receiver. I think he's definitely upper tier, I would say. Not like top tier, but he's definitely upper tier. He's definitely getting up to top tier, in my opinion. Corey Davis, however, had a rough game today. 3 catches for 34 yards and had a huge fumble at the point in which he had it. It was, I believe, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes and some change or something to go in the second quarter, and he catches it over the middle, fumbles the football, and then that led to Jacksonville kicking a field goal. Now, obviously, it didn't cost the team the game at the end of the day, but still, man, like, you gotta do better, honestly. And I think he will do better. I think he'll get a chance over the next few weeks and into the playoffs should Tennessee make it, because it's still not a sure thing that Tennessee's in the playoffs yet. They're leading the division right now, regardless of what happens in the Indianapolis-Las Vegas game. The Titans will be leading the division, and I'm recording this while the game's going on, which is why I haven't referred to whether either team won or lost yet. But I think he'll get a chance to make up for the fumble at some point. You look at the offensive line in this game, and they had a lot of injuries. Ben Jones got hurt in this one. Roger Saffold got hurt again on the field, just catching his ankle. And again, Khan family, please fix your field. And honestly, David Questenberry played horribly. I mean, he gave up the only sack of the game, and then the very next play, he let Tannehill get hit. He has to do better, straight up. He played horribly last week. I mean, Myles Garrett is a great pass rusher regardless, so I get it. But still, he has to play better or Tannehill is going to get hurt. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen, but Questenberry needs to do his part to make sure it doesn't happen whatsoever. Knock on wood again. And overall, just too many damn penalties today on both sides of the ball. I believe the Titans had 6 of them altogether. Now, Jacksonville had 10. So theoretically, Tennessee won the penalty battle. But you got to cut down on them. 6 is still way too many. Looking at the defense, overall, I felt like they played very well in the first half for the most part. Second half, I feel like they played well. They did get a pick on Glennon's last drive. But once Minshew came in, I mean, he just started dicing them up. He only led Jacksonville to 1 touchdown, but still, they got down the field. They got in range to score twice before the game. I believe 3 times, actually. On the last drive before the game ended, they got down the field as well. So really, if the defense didn't tighten up, no pun intended, then you could definitely say Jacksonville could have come back into this game. But they did a good job of holding it down on those drives where Minshew drove down the field. And again, I feel like the defense prepared for Glennon, and they didn't really prepare for Minshew like that. So I get it, but still, they got to do better, straight up. Now, James Robinson mainly got shut down in this game. He did have that 47-yard run, but he had 67 yards on 12 carries as a whole. So you take that away, and that's under 2 yards per carry that he had. He just had a really good run in garbage time, pretty much. So a pretty good game for the run defense. I just think the secondary needs to step up, though. And Kevin Barrett, again, he did have 11 tackles in this game, but man, he had some really bad plays in this one. Like, he just keeps getting beat in coverage, and honestly, I think I might make a video just talking about Kevin Byard in general and why he's having a rough time. I think we'll just have to do some more analytics on that and whatnot. But let me know in the comment section what you think the big issue with Byard is. He's definitely missed a ton of tackles, and he's definitely got beaten coverage a lot more times than we would like to see him get beaten coverage. But let me know in the comment section what you think the big issue with him is right now. As a whole, though, Ty Smith actually played a lot better than I thought he would. Malcolm Butler had an excellent game. Rashawn Evans played very well in this one as well. And I felt like the front 7 in general played pretty well against the run. I still think they struggled to get after the quarterback in this one, which has been a problem all season long, regardless of who's played there. And now with Tazar Skipper being injured, the Titans were down to Derek Roberson and Harold Landry at a certain point, and now we'll probably see Brooks Reed, who's a veteran in the league, and Wyatt Ray possibly getting some burn there. But Tennessee needs to go find somebody on the open market who can help them, because this pass rush has just been awful. Part of it is play calling. I don't think that Vrabel/Bowen call enough blitzes, and it's just like this front 7 has proven that they can't get to the QB with rushing 3, 4, or 5 guys. It's at the point where they have to blitz a lot more, and that leaves the secondary very susceptible to giving up big plays. but something's got to give. I mean, you got to be able to get to the QB with 5 guys tops. Something that's to be figured out there, but overall, I feel like the defense played a lot better this week, especially early on in the game. Now, as a whole, the team kind of let their foot off the gas pedal a little bit in the third and fourth quarter, but again, the defense did stiffen up when they needed to. But over the next 3 weeks and into the playoffs, they got to start fast and finish fast. So no more of these silly penalties, no more of these silly turnovers. They got to get it done. But a good win, and now we're moving on to Detroit. Detroit is a team that has really struggled, although last week they did play a lot better in the first game post Matt Patricia. So again, that could be another trap game. Tennessee has to be on their P's and Q's in this one, and they got to take care of business. But we'll have to see what happens next week. I'm happy about the victory, but the team definitely didn't play their absolute best, but they didn't really have to against the Jaguars, I guess. But let me know in the comment section how you feel about this game, and let me know how you feel about their chances to run the table and win the final 3 games. I mean, we got Detroit next week, then we got the Packers, and then we finish off with the Texans. So let me know how you think the team is going to do in the next 3 weeks. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button if you were new to the channel, turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. That way every time I upload a video, you guys will be notified. And share this video around with every other Titans fan around. And we won't keep it rolling here. It's been your boy Kaz Cray. And if you guys want to see more from the channel, check out the playlist in front of you.
I've been suffering in silence, and they paid me no mind. I've been stuck inside the shadows for a really long time. It feels like they forgot about me. Well, I'm here to remind you that the world is gonna hear me when it's my time to shine.